What is going on, everybody? Today we are in a brand new video. Today we are going to look at Shopify stock. We're going to do an in-depth stock review. We're going to try and understand how they make money. We're going to try and evaluate them and so much more fun stuff in this video. Right, so first of all, let's look at the stock, right? This stock has never been so low. Right now it is so low. It's beaten up. Right now the stock is at 60 USD. It's been at 173 at some point. So right now, first of all, just by looking at the graph, we can understand that it might be something to look at because of simply their underperformance to the market. All right, so let's get into it. First of all, how does Shopify work? So Shopify, I think everybody knows it, but Shopify is an e-commerce platform that allows merchants to create an online store and sell their products for a monthly subscription fee. The Shopify business model is also known as a software as a service with very, very, very high retention rates. What is speaking retention rates already mean that they would need to have a pretty big valuation. Well, that's what we're going to look at. Are they overvalued or are they undervalued? Whatever. Let's go into it. So they're trying to lure in customers. We can see that very clearly. They're giving 3-day trials, and then for the first month, €1 for the first 3 months, and then obviously the prices are gonna jump pretty much. So discover why millions of entrepreneurs choose Shopify to build their business. Well, they have millions of merchants worldwide. They have 444 billion global economic activity and 10% of total US e-commerce. Brands like Mr. Beast, like Ilya, like Cotton, whatever it is. So many people work with this. Anchor, the biggest brands use Shopify to run their business model. So that's one thing. So as I said, they're trying to lure in customers, but then for the starter pack right here, they're charging $5 per month. So their revenue is split into two, right? So they have their merchant solutions and they have the subscription revenue. So what you have right here for the different plans, you have the monthly fee, and that is a subscription business. Well, on the other hand, you have the in-person transaction fee. So per transaction, Shopify gets a certain amount. That's the merchant solutions. So mostly what's growing a lot is obviously the subscription here. So they have the retail, mostly in-store, $89 per month. And then have the basic, that's online and in-store. That's most small dropshippers use that, $40 per month. Then obviously we have Shopify, right? And then they have the advanced one. The advanced one is for bigger brands. Then obviously if you're a very, very big team like Anchor or other like really, really big companies who a couple of them already IPO'd, they obviously have a more advanced one where it obviously costs more money than that. So now let's look at their revenue, right? So their revenue, so this graph doesn't really say anything. So that's 23% revenue growth quarter on quarter. And we can see that here since 2022 really, it has been staying like this. So they're not really slowing down. They're always at 22% revenue growth and it's not going down. So that's right here what you can see. You can see the merchant solutions and you can see the subscription solutions. And then you can see overall they're up 23% in revenue and 30% excluding the logistics. So they're growing very fast. Mainly it's the subscription solutions that grow a lot. Yeah, it's really good. Now, if you look at the expectations for Q2, so that was Q1. For Q2, they expect another low to mid 20s revenue growth, which just shows even more that they're not slowing down. They're always going to be at that 23% and it's not going down. So that's really good. Another thing is they're actually implementing AI. And a lot of people say that's just branding, But I've actually heard from a couple of people who actually run a dropshipping stores, which actually think that this AI is really powerful. So they introduced nearly a dozen AI-enabled tools to Shopify Magic, and they're one of the first platforms to bring AI-generated product description to the market. We made first progress towards building our first own of its kind AI-enabled commerce assistant. So that's going to be very big. Now the question is, competitors. Do they have competitors that are actually much, much cheaper? Like for example, Wix or for example, Wix or Web.com or Squarespace? Well, the reality is no. When you hear about Warren Buffett talk about the moat protection, that castle right here is Shopify, and that's the competitors. I've seen so many try and just fail. Squarespace failed. They only take they're like so small, and their revenue growth is slowing. Wix.com is completely flattening out. It's because they just don't have what Shopify has. And frankly, Amazon tried to do that as well. They didn't. They didn't do it. They just can't replicate what Shopify is doing, and we can see that. We can see that next 10 years is all theirs. It's just simply all theirs. But factoring all these beautiful growth rates, these beautiful sort of monopolic business actually, and their AI-enabled commerce sort of tools, the question is it built in their valuation today? Well, I went on numbers on Excel, and I did a little thing, right? So revenue 2023, we knew they were at 7.06 billion, and I projected the earnings 4 years with a revenue growth of 20%. So in 2027, they will be at 14 billion. They could easily get a net profit margin of 25, and that would mean that they would average a net profit in 4 years of 3.65 billion US dollars. They have a current market cap of 68 billion, which means that they have a forward P in 4 years projected, discounted back to today, of 18. And quite frankly, for a company growing 20%, high retention rate, AI enabled, and high growth and monopoly basically, I would say that they should have, they should have 60 to 70. Right, 60 to 70 PE ratio. So that means they have the potential right now, today, in 4 years, to 3x. So what I say is I'm buying this stock heavily right now, and I'm not saying that you should too. Make your own research, but I just think this is a solid investment today.